I've been to hell and back, I move forward, I can't look back, I love it. Yes, I love it. I've been through ups and downs and still the raindrops kiss the ground, I feel it. Can you feel it? And if the world passes us by, we'll ride the clouds into the sky, then fly away into a dream. Let's fly away into a dream. Yes, our first and maybe last vlogcast. So today we have a very special guest. We have now been incorporating guests into the vlogs, and we've also been doing work with the podcast, right? So today's guest was actually on the first round of Why Not Show vlogs over 3-4 years ago, or around 3-4 years ago, where we visited him in the Kreischer Mansion, where he was working as an in-house recording engineer and just basically holding shit down in a place that was certified haunted. It was featured on an episode of Paranormal. Since then, we've done several amazing things, like aimed a replica gun at each other's face for about 2 to 3 months regularly for an interactive play called Shooter. You can check it out at shooterart.com. And this homie, now we know each other probably 8 years. 2012 we met.
I don't know.
Okay, he doesn't know.
It's been a hot fucking minute.
It's been a hot minute. So, couple things to say about LJ. To introduce him, he's a man of many talents, a man of few words but big ideas, and he gets things going. He's an Aries fire, bringing that heat to the water. So when you get water, I'm a water sign, and fire, it basically makes smoke. This brother right here, I'm going to allow him to introduce himself and break down a little bit of what he's, been going on, how he describes himself. I look at him as a mentor. I did meet him in the East Side community, high school, where I was doing music after school programs. And then later on, LJ started holding it down. We worked at a spot called the N Studios, and he kind of jumped into interning there and then pivoting his career directly from high school. And he's kept the ground running these whole 8 years, almost decade. So, want him to break down some of that while I go get the bud and figure out how to roll it. But LJ, tell the people your story, or how do you define yourself? How do you see yourself, and how has your journey been?
That's a funny question because I don't. I don't define myself. I just be. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't know. But yeah, we met when I was in high school, and at that time I was like trying to get into production, all that, and that was like the thing that I thought I wanted to do, make beats and do this and that. But I a lot of the things that I learned out of necessity for like the homies, because it was one thing to make beats, but then what are we gonna do with the beats? You gotta record them somehow. You gotta get your mans to rap on it. So I learned how to engineer, and that over time made more sense to me. So I ran with the engineering shit, and then eventually that kind of took like a background side role, and I stepped into video, and video became the main thing because I guess people need videos, so I was always doing that the whole time.
You came up from production, audio engineering, and now video production, and you've done this in a lot of different ways as a tech person, a multimedia tech. Do you see this interdisciplinary weaving together, or do you see it as like stepping stones of you evolving? So what are your relationships with those things?
Oh yeah, it all informs each other. You know what I mean? Like when you make beats and you learn how to engineer, so you mix your own shit. Or when you're engineering and you know how to make beats, it makes it easier for you to understand when you're speaking to a producer or the artist or whatever, like knowing how to count the bars. Like, it's all part of the same language.
I love it.
And then you step into video, and it's kind of the same thing. Not the same thing, but
it's singularity, right? Things are all interconnected. Creativity.
It all translates somehow, you know? Because making beats, doing whatever, it's all creative shit. And then stepping into the video world, it's creative shit in a different kind of way. So it's sort of like teaching kids algebra, you know? Who gives a fuck about algebra?
Yeah.
But the point of it isn't to teach algebra. The point of it is so kids begin to understand abstract concepts.
Got it.
Variables, things that don't actually exist.
That's what's up.
And then you learn how to make beats, you do all that kind of shit, you learn how to be creative, you learn how to express yourself, and then you step into a completely different medium like film and video. You know, it's just a whole other thing. It's a different muscle.
I love it. I'm the same thing. It's part of the journey. Now, the reason you're doing more videos is just because that's what work is more around.
Yeah.
Like, if there was more audio work, you would just be doing more audio, right?
Probably.
So there is no, I'm more interested in video. It's just, you mentioned, like, it's just whatever service happens to be a need within your skill set, right?
Yeah.
That's the way of it. So if more people were like, yo, LJ, I want you to record and do this for me, then that would be your dominant thing, right? You don't have a preference of, I prefer to do film and this in your artistic
that
journey.
would probably have to be the case. Because I learned about myself that it's not like audio or video that's like the
your
thing.
Passion,
Yeah, because you know how some people, they had a thing that they wanted to do.
Yes.
And that's what they are. It's
yes.
My thing is just creating and just that.
That's
in whatever
very
form
similar.
that may be. It's like last night I made a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just because it was the zone to do that. Yeah.
It's not about one specific thing.
Yeah, did you sample? What'd you do?
Nah.
Did you play out some melodies?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Did you draw them in? Did you MIDI keyboard in?
I got the MIDI.
The MIDI bundle pack?
Yeah, you know.
Unison.
Yeah, you
It's
know.
a fucking